Hey guys, Chris Gunn here from chrissellsflorida.com. I'm a Florida realtor, and today I'm going to go through a general history lesson of Lakewood Ranch, Florida, where we've come from and where it's going in the future, and what you need to know about it. Lakewood Ranch is the second fastest growing area in the entire United States, and there's a reason for it. It's a great place to live, and it's near some of the most incredible beaches in the entire country. So when people move to this area, they quickly realize how great of an area it is, not just because of what's around, but also because of the very competitive pricing in the United States. On top of that, I always tout the fact that Floridians don't pay sales tax, and that's a huge competitive advantage if you want to move to the state of Florida. The tourists pay the tax. So anytime you go to Disney World or you go to stay in a hotel or buy some kind of ticket to some attraction, that's the state taxes being paid. It's just coming from outside of the state. So let's take a look at the general area, and I'll tell you a little bit of a brief history. Okay, so now that we're looking at the map here, I want to just give you a general overview of the sun coast of Florida. So we've got Tampa in the north, Tampa Airport's just right over here, and then you have St. Petersburg. Downtown St. Petersburg is to the east part of that, what I call the teardrop of the state there. Clearwater Beach is a very high traffic area. You also have the Sunshine Skyway, which connects St. Petersburg to the Bradenton, Sarasota area. And Bradenton and Sarasota are fused together. There's really no divider other than just the county line. Some of the areas in Bradenton are nicer than the areas of Sarasota, so it's not like Sarasota is necessarily a nicer city. It just has more history of being nicer. So zooming in here, we can see that Bradenton and Sarasota are really close together. This is the airport right here. And so if you live in Lakewood Ranch, this is anywhere from a 10 to a 15-minute drive. It's a very convenient commute if you find yourself traveling a lot. And the prices to fly out of Sarasota, although more expensive than flying out of St. Petersburg or Tampa, you can get very competitive flight rates now compared to a couple of years ago when Delta owned the complete airport. And so Delta could jack their prices up and charge whatever they wanted, and they did. So now that's changed. If we look a little bit west here, we have Bradenton Beach and what's called 684. That's also referred to as Cortez Road. And so this area out here was going to be the original Lakewood Ranch. Lakewood Ranch was going to be this revolutionary community, and there was a fight for which land would be used. The reason I think ultimately this lost as being the number one choice was because of the traffic. Lakewood Ranch, being in its current position, was right next to the interstate. It was very convenient to get in and out, and because of that, it won. So Medallion Homes owns this general area here, and they very much plan to take it over in the near future. What they're waiting on is for the area of Lakewood Ranch to be developed and then ultimately expire, and in terms of being convenient for new homes. So this is going to be closer to the beach. And once Bradenton and this area here can get its act together in terms of crime and transportation, this will be a very, very high dollar value market to pay attention to in the future. So if you're not looking to get into Lakewood Ranch right now, but you want to get into where the hot spots are going to be in the future, I can tell you this, that the coastline is always going to be a coveted area to live, and this is going to be right at the footprint of it. So moving east, we have a couple different locations that we want to look at. So I'm actually going to bring you all the way to the top here, US 301. And you want to pay attention to this white line right here. This is actually called Fort Hamer Road. And Fort Hamer Road is just from here to here, just basically where it says Fort Hamer. Back in 2018, Fort Hamer Road was connected to what's called Upper Manatee River Road, which is right here. And this created an alternative route, so that we now have 4 bridges to get south. So whenever 75 backs up going south or north, people are using Fort Hamer as an alternative. And so as a result, this area of Parrish, Florida, really became a coveted area because it has quick access to Lakewood Ranch and to the University Town Center, which I will show you in just a couple of moments where that is. And so there, you're seeing a current explosion of residential growth in this area right here. In this box, you have State Road 675 and Rye Road. And then this is Upper Manatee River Road. It kind of turns right and keeps going and dead ends into Rye. All this will be important to pay attention to in the coming development of Lakewood Ranch. Then right here is the point when it hits State Road 64 that Lakewood Ranch Boulevard begins. And the demarcation difference of Lakewood Ranch Boulevard compared to Upper Manatee River Road is generally that Upper Manatee is a 2-lane road. It's very high traffic at the moment because they didn't expand it when they needed to expand it. That's a shocker, right? But then Lakewood Ranch Boulevard is 4 lanes separated by a very nice median with St. Augustine grass and trees and shrubs, and they keep it up, and it's very, very well done. You also see a tax bump once you cross this State Road 64 line. What you'll find is that north of the river here, this is actually, if we go even higher than Parrish or more north than Parrish, this has been coined the term North River. But houses get cheaper as you go north. So once you cross the river, you see about a $50,000 bump per home. Once you cross 64, you'll see $100,000 to $150,000 bump, and then you'll see about a $200,000 bump to what you'd compare to see in North River and Lakewood Ranch. So looking a little bit further in, you have Lakewood Ranch ending at the north end here, and it's going to this line right here. This is Lorraine Road currently, and Lorraine goes from State Road 64, and it used to dead end right here at University. So University Town Center is all of this yellow right here, and it is definitely the town center. There's no doubt in anybody's mind that this is where a lot of the traffic is heavy. It is the place that everybody wants to be when they're not at the beach because it's air conditioned, it's very high class shopping, and it's the best that Sarasota Bradenton has to offer in terms of that kind of shopping. So then you have the Lakewood Ranch Town Center, which is a smaller town center, kind of some local restaurants, and they try to create some community there. They do okay, and there's not a ton of turnover with the restaurants and with the local shops there. They are very, very well supported. The Lakewood Ranch Medical Center is a very good hospital that's right there. They're building high rises there, and it's exploding in that downtown area as much as they will let it go. They're keeping it quaint, they're keeping it nice. But then Lakewood Ranch Boulevard swerves on through here, and you can see all the green. There's a lot of trails, there's a lot of parks, there's a lot of nice areas to really enjoy yourself. And that's really one of the benefits of Lakewood Ranch is they've poured a lot of money and time into keeping those areas nice. Summerfield Community Park, this area right here, my wife and I will spend a lot of time there. But the homes are older in here. So, you know, they're early 2000s now. So older in Florida is early 2000s at this point. Once you hit that 20-year mark, we're not talking about 1950s because 1950, none of this was here. If there was anything, it was really going to be out towards the beach because that was the only reason that you would come down here just to live in misery during the summer when there was no air conditioning. So this is all new, and anything built after 2005 is really going to be a better build because it was built after Hurricane Katrina and the standards grew, and also just efficiency wise, things have really improved. So moving down Lorraine, this is where the southern part of Lakewood Ranch is getting built out. You can see there's not much happening in terms of roads. This is all going to be commerce here, south of University, north of what's called Fruitville Road, which is 780 Fruitville Road. And there's a lot of small businesses in here. A couple of what I would call giants like Trinet, which is a professional employer organization. They have a large facility in the Lakewood Ranch area, but there's a lot happening in here. But the residential is going to start getting built up more out east off of Lorraine. And what you can see now that you couldn't do a couple years ago is, as I said earlier, Lorraine used to dead end right here. Now they have a public shopping center and everything's really developing at this corner. You can go much farther out east on University than you could before. And there's a cut through here. Tons of development happening out in this area. And also on top of that, one of the biggest complaints for the residential community in Florida was that the lots kept shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. And where homes that were typically built on a quarter acre or 3/4 of an acre, they're now being built on 1/3 of an acre, and they're literally staring into their neighbor's bathroom from their living room. And it got really frustrating for people. We're saying we don't want to go the direction that, you know, houses like in California, for example, have gone. And so they're building more homes on like 3 and 5 acre plots. And you're just paying a little bit more to be able to have that land. But it's making a very, very competitive draw for people to get that kind of country living, but still be close to the University Town Center. One other area that I want to show you that's developing is East State Road 70. So where with University, it seems to be ending at Lorraine Road, which is again right here. And you can see there's some little tails sticking out, and there's some eastward movement that will probably be met by this road right here. And I bet the 15-year plan is to bring this road down through here and then bump you into Fruitville at some point. But this is where a lot of development is happening, and especially in the last 2 years. And I want to really highlight this area because if you want to buy a new home out in Lakewood Ranch, I really recommend paying attention to what's on your screen right now. And I'm actually going to move my camera just so you can really get a clear idea. So again, you have Lorraine Road. This is the Premier Sports Campus, and there's a huge soccer field right here. And so we use that as a landmarker. This road right here, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it. Well, yeah, I am. Yolene Road. Yolene? I don't know. This is a brand new road as of this video. And I actually just yesterday, I was driving west on 70 and I made a right into here just to see what was going on. They have a 55 plus community out there starting at the 300s. Lennar, which is a builder down in the south, they've really taken over this area, and they're making it just explode. All of this area right here, it is absolutely flattened. It's ready to go, and they're saying by the end of 2020, this is all going to be getting developed. Homes on State Road 70 here are all getting developed at this time. Everything's getting built up. Once you get to about this area right here, this is actually where the next State Road 70 expansion will end. So they're going to do it from Yolene Road to this road right here. This neighborhood here is called the Concession, and you'll see a lot of homes upwards of 12,000 and plus square feet in this area. And then this is an area called Panther Ridge, which is again kind of those large lotted homes, but they are now getting a little bit older. This is a very nice area to live if you want to get out east and kind of really enjoy the country, but you're not looking for a new home. Again, coming back up, Yolene Road is currently dead ending up here, and then you can take it back to Lorraine Road. All of this is getting developed. All of this west of Lorraine is getting developed and is developed. All brand new builds. I mean, this has got to be the drywall center of the world. So if you're, again, looking for a newer home, a lot more energy efficient, this would be your box to really be looking. Use Lorraine Road as your marker. They're still currently expanding this. They just started the construction process. And I don't actually know off the top of my head if they're going to expand it to 4 lanes and a median, or if they're just going to go 2 lanes with some better sidewalk action. But it would be in the best interest of the city to make sure that they expand that. And in here, you can get homes upwards of $1 million. You can get homes at 285,000 as a starting point. This is going to be a great community, and I highly recommend that you come to this area. So again, coming back down, you can see the two boxes, and I'm going to separate them here. So this is going to be the new box, and this is going to be the old box. But in the old box, you have the country club. It's kind of hard because nothing's popping up. This is Legacy Golf Club, and this is Lakewood Ranch Country Club. So coming in here, you have a lot of nicer homes. Now, I kind of argue, I grew up in the northeast part of Florida, and custom homes were so much more common than they are down in the Sun Coast, so where you had neighborhoods and every house is different. You had to go through the homeowners association to, pick your paint color because they didn't want houses necessarily looking the same. And that's the opposite in Legacy. This is the opposite in the country club, because it seems like almost every house is a shade of tan, orange, peach, or white, and they all have that same tile roof. And then inside, it's the same builder, and so you just get kind of that cookie cutter model, but it has a very nice custom feel, and they're very efficient homes. You can get homes in this area that are villas, which are surprising that they would have villas in a neighborhood like this, but it's kind of neat that they do that, and you can live that really high-end country club lifestyle, but then you can get homes that are upwards of 12,000 square feet. So you really have a wide variety. You just pay it in the fees. Then moving a little bit west on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard, this is an area called River Club. River Club is now an established neighborhood. It has very normal middle-class homes, but they're nicer. They have some preserves in the area. It's close to the local elementary and middle school, so it's a lot of families in this area, very family-friendly. One road that I would really highly pay attention to that I've seen over the years is Royal Calcutta Place. This is a very nice road. The homes are getting to be at that 15-year mark. But I've noticed whenever I've seen any homes that are really worth taking a second look at, even in terms of just their layout, Royal Calcutta is going to be a place that I always have my eyes on if I don't even move there myself someday. So one other area I want to show you, which is not considered Lakewood Ranch, but I consider it Lakewood Ranch, is University Park. University Park is everything west of I-75, north of University Parkway, and east of Whitfield Avenue. So University Park, in my opinion, was originally just a neighborhood. It was the country club before the country club existed. And so you can see the Park Boulevard, very nice established homes in this neighborhood. The fees are a lot higher. So this is everything south of this road, Honore Avenue and Old Farm Road, and then Boxton, Whitfield, and this, which is, it's not, I joke with my wife, I call it Honoree Road, but it's Honore. This area here, which is also referred to as Cooper Creek, is also considered University Park. It has its own zip code of 34201, and it has some very nice homes. One area that I would also look at in terms of an established neighborhood is right here. It's called University Place, and University Place has, you can just tell, good neighbors. The lawns are very nice. The fees can be a little bit on the higher side just because they have an HOA and CDD there, but that's a neighborhood that I would look at. And the reason I like that neighborhood is because it's right at the back entrance of University Town Center. When you go south of the mall, you have Nathan Benderson Park, which is a nice park, and they do a lot of rowing competitions there. And it's become a real focus of the town, especially since they've gotten approval to put an aquarium right here. And it's going to look like a ship out of water. It's going to be quite the sight once it's built. But Honore comes south here through an area called the Meadows. The Meadows is what I would consider to be old Florida. I mean, it's a lot of the condos and townhomes, they were built in the 1980s, and villas, and they smell like people were living there 50 years ago. I'll just put it that way. I've been in enough of them. So there's not a lot of new things happening in this area, and it's a very preserved area. They're not really open to a lot of change, very low speed limits, things like that. So to get that close to the mall, this is really your only option to be west of I-75. So again, looking at Lakewood Ranch from an outside view here, you from the north, State Road 64, and then you box it in at Lorraine Road, except for State Road 70. I would bump it out east, your search a little bit more to right here. You're seeing a lot of activity in that area right now. It's going to cone from State Road 64 here to this Triumph adventure course, and then it's going to triangle back. That's going to be your very, very hot area going into 2030, maybe even 2035, depending on what the 2020s look like. And this road out east even further, this is going to be State Road 675. So right here and everything west of it, this is already getting prepped for sale. But what you're going to see out here is a major culture clash because there's a lot of farmland and there's a lot of homes that are already out there and they want to keep their country lifestyle. But as history shows, the metropolitan areas always win, especially when it comes to the main county roads. So what you'll see is that eastern movement. And then again, as you kind of come out on more of 100,000 foot level, once you move west, this area right here, 684 Bradenton Beach, this is 75th Street West and Bayshore Gardens. This is an area that I'd really be keeping an eye on in the next 10 years and want to jump on once you see more development in that area. If you're looking to get outside of the area, I really want to highlight again this North River area. It's all this right here. If you want a road marker, this is Moccasin Wallow right here. They just got the approval to 4-lane this, and they've gotten their Publix in, which is a great sign. And Neal Communities, which is a developer in this area, has confirmed to build up this entire area right here. They've already got some of their model homes out there, and it's exploding very, very fast. They intend to call this UTC Light. And so this area at the interstate is going to get developed. Kind of one of the disadvantages for me in this area is all the development that's happening right here west of the interstate. It is it's overpriced. It's priced for the future. And so they're not seeing a high velocity of activity. But the reason that they believe in it so confidently is because I-275, which takes you into St. Petersburg, dumps you right here. And so you're going to see all the commuters for St. Petersburg and West Tampa, they're going to be interested in this area right here. And what I like to say, and this is the advice that I'll leave you with, is that once they put a hospital in here in this area, it's just absolutely going to explode. And so the target date of all of that, not completed, but really actively flowing, is going to be 2026. So if you're looking to move to the Lakewood Ranch area, my name is Chris Gunn. I'm a realtor here in the state of Florida. And my number for you is 941-224-9005. I'd love to help you on your search, whether you're buying, whether you're selling, whether you want to do investment properties, commercial properties. I'm your guy. I know this area, and I'd be happy to help you. Well, look out for some of my other videos. If you don't mind, hit the subscribe button to my channel. And if I helped you at all, hit the like button. And we'll see you next time.